Perfect competition is a type of market structure. It is necessary to know the meaning of the term market before we take up the concepts of perfect competition and equilibrium for discussion. After that, we will discuss the equilibrium of a firm and industry under the conditions of perfect competition. In a common parlance, market is referred to as a place where commodities are bought and sold. There is a market for everything which has a price. Like that, all the economic products will have a market. Thus, we find various markets like vegetable market, fruit market, grain market, capital market, bullion market, foreign exchange market, etc. But in economics, the term market has got a different meaning. It does not refer to a place, it refers to an arrangement in which the buyers and the sellers come together for the purpose of exchange directly or indirectly. The sellers and buyers, they need not meet at a particular place. They may come in contact with each other, maybe through telephonic conversation, telex messages, email, teleprinter, etc. But the basic function of a market is to enable an exchange of goods and services to take place. Thus, for a market, there must be certain basic elements, that is a commodity, the sellers and buyers who meet for the purpose of exchange, and there must be certain basic elements for a market. There must be a commodity and there must be sellers and buyers who come to a close contact for the purpose of exchange, and there must be a price for the goods and services prevailing in the market at a given point of time. Having seen the meaning of the term market, let us see what is perfect competition. Based on the number of sellers in the market and based on the nature of the commodities in the market, market structures are divided into or classified into various types. They are perfect competition, monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly and monopolistic competition. Let us see what do we mean by these terms. Perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market situation in which there will be a large number of buyers and sellers competing with each other. And coming to the monopoly, monopoly is a market situation in which there will be single seller and more number of buyers. To quote some examples, Indian Railways, state electricity boards will have a monopoly situation in the market. Coming to the duopoly, under duopoly there will be two sellers or producers in the market and more number of buyers in the market. Then oligopoly, in oligopoly there will be a few sellers or producers and a large number of buyers in the market. In our India, we can quote automobile industry, electrical appliances industry as an example for oligopoly. Coming to the monopolistic competition, it is a market situation which is a combination of monopoly as well as perfect competition. In this market structure, there will be a large number of sellers as well as buyers in the market, and the competition is restricted because of product differentiation. In the case of consumable products like soaps, washing powder, toothpaste, televisions, we have monopolistic competition in our day to day life. Now, let us discuss the perfect competition in detail. In the market situation of perfect competition, there will be a large number of sellers and buyers selling the homogeneous product in the market. For this perfect competition to prevail in the market, there are certain conditions to be satisfied. We call these conditions as assumptions of the perfect competition, and these assumptions are a large number of sellers and buyers in the market, free entry and free exit of firms, homogeneous product, perfect knowledge, free mobility of factors of production, and no transport costs. Let us explain these basic conditions one by one. The first basic assumption in the case of perfect competition is large number of sellers and buyers in the market. There is no restriction on the number of sellers and buyers. There will be large number of sellers and buyers in the market, and the price is determined based on the market factors, that is demand and supply. Individually, no seller or no producer can be in a position to influence the market price, because individually each seller and producer will form a very insignificant portion of the market supply. Like that, each and every firm will be competing in the perfect competition, and it is just a price taker. Whatever price is there, at that price they can sell any number of goods they want to sell. In the same manner, buyers also individually will not be in a position to change the market price. Then second assumption is free entry of firms and free exit of firms. Depending on the market conditions, firms can enter the market and the firms can exit the market. There are no restrictions on the firms on the entry as well as on the exit. If the market conditions are favorable, more number of firms can enter the market. If market conditions are not favorable to any firm or firms, those firms are free to exit from the industry. Then the third assumption is homogeneous product. This is very important assumption that we make in perfect competition. The product will have homogeneity. That means in many respects, like the color of the product, the size of the product, the quality of the product, there is homogeneity. Then when these three basic assumptions are fulfilled, the market situation we have is termed as pure competition. This pure competition becomes perfect competition when three more conditions are fulfilled. They are: the first one is perfect knowledge. The sellers as well as buyers will have perfect knowledge in the market about different aspects in the market, like the quality of the product, the price of the product, and the availability of raw material, the price of the raw material, the prices of the factors of production. Like that, all the sellers as well as all the buyers will have perfect knowledge in the market. Then the next assumption is free mobility of factors. The factors of production will have a free mobility. They can freely move from one firm to other firm, from one industry to other industry, or from one place to other place. Thus, under perfect competition, the factors of production will have mobility, that is occupational mobility as well as geographical mobility. Then the last assumption is no transport cost. We assume that there will be no transport cost under perfect competition situation. When transport costs are there, naturally certain products will have more price and certain products may have less price. Thus, price differentiation will be there. So, thus we make an assumption that transport costs are absent, so that the price of the product in the market will be the same and the buyers will not have any preference towards the product of a particular producer. Thus, when these conditions are satisfied, we call that market situation as a perfect competition. Then, having seen the meaning of the perfect competition, let us go to the discussion of equilibrium. Equilibrium is a point where the firm gets maximum profits. A firm is said to be in equilibrium when it has no tendency of changing its production, either decreasing the production or increasing the production. That means, equilibrium point is reached when the firm maximizes its profits. That is the reason why the firms will not have any desire to change its production by altering the factors of production, that is by reducing the factors of production or increasing the factors of production. Now, let us see how equilibrium will be under perfect competition. So, what are the conditions for equilibrium under perfect competition? As we all know, the demand will have perfect elasticity under perfect competition and the price also will be the same. Thus, the demand curve will have horizontal to the x axis if we show in a diagram. Thus, in equilibrium the average price also will be equal to the price of the product. Thus, the average revenue curve will coincide with the demand curve, and under the perfect competition, a firm to be in equilibrium, there must be two conditions fulfilled. They are marginal cost must be equal to marginal revenue. Then what is marginal cost? Marginal cost is the cost which is incurred for producing an additional unit, an additional product. Then what is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is the revenue that is realized by selling an additional product. So, this marginal cost and marginal revenue must be equal, that is the first basic condition of equilibrium. Then the second one is if you show in the form of a diagram, the marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from the below. When these two conditions are fulfilled, we say a firm is in equilibrium under perfect competition. The same thing we can also show with the help of a diagram. In this diagram, the output is shown on y-x axis, the revenue and costs are shown on y axis. As I said already, the demand curve will be horizontal to x axis, that is P d is the demand curve here. Now, the marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve at point E from the above. This is not equilibrium point. Of course, at this point MC is equal to MR, but as the production is increased, the marginal cost is coming down. So, this will not be the equilibrium point, and as the production is increased, output is increased, when the output is reached to M, that when the output is OM, at this output the marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from the below. So, this is the equilibrium point, that is F. F is the equilibrium point here. The OP is the price and OM is the quantity, OM is the equilibrium quantity. So, F is the equilibrium point in the case of perfect competition, because here as I told you there are two conditions to be fulfilled for the purpose of equilibrium. They are, the first thing is, the first condition is marginal cost curve must be equal to marginal revenue, that is marginal cost must be equal to marginal revenue. At point F, marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, and the second one is this marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from the below. So, this curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from the below, thus this is the equilibrium point in the case of a firm under perfect competition. Having seen the conditions of equilibrium, let us explain the equilibrium of a firm under perfect competition with the absolute profit figure and loss figure. For this purpose, we divide the period into long period and short period, or long run or short run. Let us see the meaning of short period. Short period is a period in which production can be changed with changing only variable factors. That means fixed capital will be fixed in the short run. Then long run is a period, or long period is a period in which all the factors of production including fixed capital can be changed for the purpose of increasing the production. For that purpose, new plant can be installed, the existing plant's capacity can be increased. Under first, let us explain the equilibrium of a firm under perfect competition in the short run. In the short run, there may be three situations, that is firm earning excess profits, abnormal profits. If the second one, a firm earning normal profits, and the last situation may be a firm incurring losses. Let us explain these three situations in which a firm can be in equilibrium with the help of a diagram. This is the diagram which shows the equilibrium of a firm under perfect competition in short run. The output is shown on y-x axis, the revenue or cost are shown on y axis. When the price is OP, the output is OM2. At point R, the firm is in equilibrium where the short run marginal curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from the below. But here the OP is the price or average revenue. This average revenue is more than the average cost. The average cost is only M2 T. So, this RT will be the abnormal profit figure per unit. So, thus when the profit or average revenue is more than the average cost, abnormal profit will be earned by the firm under perfect competition. As we have seen, since it is a short run, to reap the benefit of abnormal profits, new firms cannot enter the market. Thus, a firm may be in equilibrium at point R given the market price, even though abnormal profits are coming to the firm. Next situation may be a firm may earn normal profit. A firm earns normal profit when price, that is average revenue, will be equal to average cost. When the price is OP1, the quantity produced is OM, and at point E where the short run marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from the below is the equilibrium point when the firm earns normal profit. Here the price of the product, that is OP1, is equivalent to the average cost, that is ME. So, thus the price is equivalent to average cost, thus the firm gets normal profit. We can also say this is a situation of break even point, at which firm will be getting normal profit, but if it further expands its production, it may get real business profits. But since it is a short run, immediately the production cannot be increased. Like that, firm in short run will be under equilibrium even when it earns normal profit. The third situation in the short run is a firm making losses. When the price is OP2, the quantity, the output producer is OM1, and at point S the firm in short run is in equilibrium. At this point the firm will be incurring losses because the price is less than the average cost. Even in the short run, the price or average revenue must cover at least variable cost. If the price is not equivalent to variable cost, then the firm may have to close down its business. Thus, in the short run, there may be three situations under which a firm may be in equilibrium, that is a firm making abnormal profit, firm making normal profit, and a firm incurring losses. But one thing is to be noted, that is the short run industry will not be in equilibrium, only firm may be in equilibrium. Now, let us see how the equilibrium point is reached in the long run. In the long run, when the price is OP1 and the output producer is OM1, at this output at point R the firm is in equilibrium, but at this point R the firm or the firms with identical cost will be earning abnormal profits, because the price is more than the average cost per unit. The average cost will be from M1 to here, and the price is M1 R, which is more than the average cost. And as I told you, since it is a long run, when other firms in the market, when the firms, that is existing firms in the market gain abnormal profits, new firms will enter into the market and will produce the goods and services and supply in the market, whereby because of increase in the supply the price will come down in the long run. The price may come down from OP1 to OP2, and at this level the quantity may be OM2, and at point T the firm is in equilibrium, but at this point the firms will be incurring losses. And as I told you again, since it is a long period, some firms may not be in a position to what you call incur the losses, they may not be in a position to bear the losses. Then certain firms which cannot bear the loss situation will quit or will exit from the market. Then what happens is, naturally since certain firms exit from the market, the production will be what you call decrease, and because of which the price may go up from OP2 to OP, and the production will, then the output will be OM, and at this level the equilibrium point is E. At this point E, the firm will be equilibrium in the long run. Here the marginal cost curve is cutting the marginal revenue curve from the below, and marginal cost is equivalent to marginal revenue. Like this, in the long run, the firms will be in the equilibrium when the price is equivalent to average revenue and average cost and marginal revenue, like that. So, thus in the long run, the firm will be under perfect competition equilibrium at point A. In the at the same point, the industry also will be in equilibrium. Thus, in the long run, price will be equal to average revenue and average cost, marginal cost and marginal revenue. In the long run, as I said, the firm as well as the industry in which the firm is there will be in equilibrium. In this lesson, we have seen the meaning of the market, the meaning of the perfect competition, the assumptions that we make under perfect competition, the meaning of the equilibrium, the conditions for equilibrium, that is, again let me repeat, marginal cost must be equal to marginal revenue and the marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from the below, and then the equilibrium of a firm under perfect competition in the short run with 3 situations: when the firms make abnormal profits, when the firms make normal profits and when the firms make or incur losses. And in the long run, we have explained that the firm as well as the industry will be in equilibrium when the price is equivalent to average revenue, average cost, marginal cost and marginal revenue.